Hey, you're listening to Don't Lie to Your Life Coach podcast with Kim Arrington. I'm Kim Arrington. I'm a life coach, a weight loss coach, an author, and a badass passionate about helping you connect back to your most authentic self. Join me here each week so I can coach you on how to think all those juicy thoughts that get you feeling your absolute best and taking some big ass action. Coaching has changed my life, and it can change your life too. I'm here to give you real life solutions to create a life you'll love. Because the truth is, boo, you ain't just got problems, you got options. Hey, y'all. Listen, we are at the end of the year again. What I love about this is this is the second time I've done this. The podcast has now been around for more than a year. Yay! So every time at the end of the year, I come on here to say a big thank you to you. And then I kind of create a mashup of episodes that talk about what you say mattered when I see you on the street, what you inboxed me, all that good stuff. And these 3 episodes really, they do the work of that. So episode 42, the number 1 mistake you're making with weight loss, episode 65, weight loss for women over 40, and episode 71, and that is how to make your weight loss unstoppable. These episodes right here talk a lot about my philosophy. You all know that I have Half-Life. And if you're interested, you can go to www.kimarrington.com/free weight class. And if you're interested in the one spot I have left for coaching, you can go to www.kimarrington.com and you just go to join waitlist and I will get back to you. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Thank you so much for changing your life right alongside of me and letting me help guide you. And let's do it again for a bunch more years to come, And let's know that in the new year, weight loss is possible for women or people that identify as women over 40. And you're going to want to sign up for my free weight loss challenge. That is going to be in January. If you go to that www.kimarrington.com/free weight class, you will be signed up. You will hear more about it in the January episodes, okay? So with no further ado, y'all have a wonderful new year. I'll be hollering again at you after the new year. And thank you so much for making this year incredible for me and yourself. You will have to return to your habits over and over. Towards the end of this episode, I'm going to talk to you about the cycle of change, okay? How that works. But a huge part of the cycle of change is relapse and returning to your habits with the information you found out. Guess what, y'all? I've lost 65 pounds and I got to return to my habits. I drank, I ate, I had all the fun during the holiday, and I got to return to my habits. My ass ain't Santa Claus. Santa Claus got to return to his habits, okay? Got to get his little ass on that sled and take the toys to the girls and the boys and do whatever Santa does, okay? The reindeer, all right? So I want to tell you first what my habits get me, what they net me, okay? My habits, your habits, are the way you take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else, okay? I got a habit of getting up and journaling or meditating or both. 10-minute meditation. I sometimes write 3 sentences in my journal. I do not judge myself. My habits are a place I can choose not to judge myself, okay? I have a habit of drinking water, have a habit of talking to my best friends. I have a habit of eating the amount of food for what I want to weigh. I call that Half-Life, okay? So your habits, me being outside, they're the ways we take care of ourselves. They're the way that we know who we are, our personalities. They are the way that we allow ourselves to have fun and relieve stress and do all the things that matter in the world. That's what your habits are. What I don't want y'all to do when you're creating a new habit, I don't know, they say it takes 90 days. When you're creating that new habit, I don't want you to beat yourself up. And I always say, like James Clear says, 1% it, little tiny micro steps towards the habit you want. When I started running, I did not try to run 10 miles. My first goal was just to run. I think when I did the app, it was like run for 30 seconds. And then I got a mile, and then I got 6 miles. And now I'm going for a 10-mile and a half marathon in 2023. Okay. So you can incrementally shift up in your habits. Okay. I want to tell you some habits that don't matter to me when it comes to weight loss. There is a non-importance to me of the scale. What I mean by that is the scale definitely can give you information. It literally tells you the gravitational pull that you have from the earth that we in the United States do in pounds, but people do in stones in other places and do in, all the different measurements, So it's a gravitational pull that the folks established. They created this little box called a scale. I like to put mine into happy scale to see where I am, what the data says, but I don't attach any meaning to it, anything that I don't want to attach to it. I know if I'm doing my habits, the scale is going to trend where I want it to. And when I'm not, the scale generally is going to trend up. And if I don't mind it at that time, that's fine. The holidays, I didn't give a damn. I didn't care. I knew I was going to get back to my habits because they are me. There are a million ways to lose weight. Okay, a million ways to lose weight. Choose one and go towards it, but be in the knowing that you're gonna probably amend that. So that big thing you're getting wrong about weight loss is that you're not gonna return to your habits. You think that once you have it, that is perfectionism. Y'all know what I say, perfection, being perfect is so damn boring. You will have to return to the good things. You will have to return to the things that make you feel grounded and centered. You will have to return to them over and over. And hell, you might even have to amend them. You might even change a habit. And that's okay. Okay? A sense of humor, a fucking sense of humor changes everything. Y'all, life is funny. It's a lot of things. Funny is one of them. Losing weight can be funnier, okay? More funny, the funniest, okay? You gotta not make a big deal about everything. If this is gonna be a journey and you're gonna return to your habits no matter what, and if the habit doesn't work, you're gonna amend it, what's the big deal? What's the big deal, y'all? What is the big fucking deal? Okay? You don't need shame. You don't need blame. You don't need any of that. If I go to Jamaica, Miss Barbara is going to serve me up some of the most delicious drinks ever. And my habit is that maybe I decide before I go, I'll have 2 drinks a day or more. But when I get back, like I did when I just got back from New York, I had more drinks when I was in New York. I have not had a drink since I was here. I'm taking myself to dinner. It's restaurant week in my town. I'm taking myself to dinner, helping the restaurants after the holiday slump. I'm going out and I'm going to have a drink. But usually when I'm away, I have more drinks. Okay. Sometimes I'm here and I have more drinks, but overwhelmingly, my habit is not to drink every day. That's one of my habits. Okay. Let's talk about the cycle of change. Let me see. I'm going into my Slack, so it could go off. You know how that is. The cycle of change. And let me see. So I saw this on Mind Psych Guidance on the Instagram, and I don't know their pronouns, so let me not say them. But anyway, this was on their page. Stages of change. Oh, Lord. Let me see if I can see it. I got to make it bigger. Okay. I don't know if they came up with this. I don't know. I just screenshotted it because I needed it. Okay. So I attributed it. Mind.psych guidance. Okay. Stages of change. Pre-contemplation. That means you really have no intention of changing your behavior. You're just like, I'm kind of thinking I might do this, but I don't know. Contemplation. You're aware a problem exists, but with no commitment to action. Okay, there's this thing going on. Maybe I want to lose weight. Maybe I want to stop spending as much. Maybe I want to, go on a walk every day. I'm kind of feeling more aches and pains, and maybe this could help. Okay. Preparation, intent on taking action to address the problem. All right. I went and got my walking shoes, and I'm going to go for a walk every day. I'm going to set aside a time, and I'm going to do it starting tomorrow, which y'all, I always say start today. Okay. Don't put off, I don't even know how to say it, but the point is, don't put off today, tomorrow, what you could do today. Go ahead and get it going. That whole let me start tomorrow, it could be next 10 years from now when you start. Just go ahead and get it started, okay? Then you go to the action step. That's active modification of the behavior. You're gone. You're doing it. You did it. The maintenance is sustained change. New behavior replaces the old. Then, so we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Step 6 is relapse. Fall back into your old pattern of behavior. Relapse is in the stages of change, my friends. And then it is back to pre-contemplation. So there is a spiral. There's like a upward spiral. If you're looking at this graphic, it has arrows that are pointing in a spiral. And the upward spiral is you learn from each relapse. And it goes back, it starts, once that relapse is that step, you go back to pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance, relapse, pre-contemplation. Y'all, everybody goes through this because we are human beings. We all have the same brain, and our brains are designed to seek out reward, and food is reward until you decide that going to the gym is reward. Even today, I struggled. It was leg day. I did not want to do leg day. I'm so glad I went. And that is my reward on some days. Some days I don't like it, but food does not hold the same place for me because as I've relapsed with my habits, I've continued to learn and grow from relapse. I don't value food the way I used to. You guys have to remember, it's not what goes wrong. It's what you do when you don't like what happened. That's where you can create a new habit. You're going to always have to return to your habits. You're going to always have to return to your habits. It doesn't have to be a shit show or a shit basket. It's just what it is. You are a human being with a brain that's wired to test you to see if you for real. And when you return to your habits every single time, you are telling your brain, I am, and your subconscious starts to create a new picture. That's why it's so important to return to your habits, okay? So let's talk about the word overeat. That is to eat to excess. That means more than what you need. And y'all, look at this yummy dummy lunch. I mean, this is what I used to take to camp. I'm going to say this is 2017. I'm like, I'm being healthy. So I had this like slaw salad up there. I had roasted zucchini and corn and carrots. I had turkey burger over greens. I had hummus and tomatoes. And this looks like some other kind of slaw. I had watermelon and blueberries. In that bag are almonds and assorted, this is my Trader Joe's run, almonds and assorted raisins. And then I had a bag of yummy veggie straws and water. This is too much food. This is what I thought healthy was. And it is, but it's too much food for one or even two sittings. This will probably take me like 3.5 meals to finish. Okay, I might be being dramatic, like 3 meals. Remember, healthy food can be overeaten too. This is a lot of food, y'all. It's a lot of food, all right? You may not look at it as a lot of food, but like I could have the nuts and the raisins alone for a meal, okay? Like the turkey burger and half of that zucchini salad for a meal, the hummus and the turkey burger, the fruit and one of the slaws. Okay, why I need 2 slaws, y'all? Why did I need 2 slaws? Okay, yeah. So overeating is just a practice overreaction. An overreaction is a more emotional or forcible response than is justified. Overeating is just a practice overreaction. So that means if you practice something different, then you'll get a different response. So let's talk about our trusty dusty haunted house. I mean, this is kind of a nice haunted house, right? It's like a haunted house. Whenever you get spooked, you eat about it to feel normal again. And normal just means to quickly go back to being able to that day-to-day of having to keep dealing with all the stuff, okay? The job, the kids, the divorce, the new relationship, the aging parents. You just like, let me go ahead and quickly eat. This is what your brain is saying. Let me go ahead and quickly give her some cravings so she can feel better. She uses food to feel better, and then she can go back to her life. But then you feel guilty. You see, at least you treated yourself, right? Yep, this thing is the haunted house. This thinking is the haunted house. Do you really want to go inside of a haunted house, spend the night, or have a cookout? Y'all want to have a barbecue at the haunted house? You do not. You do not want to barbecue with ghosts. So here are the 9 ways women try to stop overeating that just don't work and what to do instead. This is me on a track. This is like several years ago. This is me on a track. I took up running in the pandemic. I tried it a couple of times. Cycles of change. I tried a couple of times and I really got it. I'm a enjoying runner. Hey, I even take 6 months off a year. I don't like running in the heat. So I take it off and I just get back to going, and I don't start at 0 when I get back. That's what I want you to think about with Half-Life. You're not going to start at 0. When I get back, I run 2 miles. I run 3 miles. And before you know it, I'm running 8 miles. Exercise is great. I recommend it. But exercise doesn't teach you how to not overeat. The way you eat has a lot more of an impact over weight loss than exercise, period. Folks that exercise often overestimate the calories they burn and eat them plus more. That is overeating, y'all. Them cute little wrist trackers that y'all love are not always your friend, especially if you're using them and saying, oh, well, I burn this many calories, so it doesn't matter if every single day I eat 900 additional calories. That is overeating. That will show up on your scale. Y'all remember this? I loved skee ball. Okay, I loved this. Skee ball is great, but I don't believe in counting calories ever when it comes to weight loss. Are y'all gonna do that on a vacation? I don't think so, because doing math doesn't teach you how to overeat. Seriously, are you going to do that for the rest of your life? Because if you are allowed to eat unlimited food, and y'all know the program where it says these are 0-point foods. If you are allowed to eat unlimited food because you think you haven't hit your calorie limit or your goal, remember, we've all been on that plan, then you are able to eat when you're not hungry. And that is overeating at its best. Y'all, those trackers of calories, those programs of calories, if you're not going to do it forever, don't start. Look at this yummy veg. I mean, this looks like it needs a little dressing, though. Doesn't it look like it needs a little dressing? Salads and vegetables are essential. But being just plant-based doesn't teach you how to not overeat. Seriously, most of us ain't doing that for life. It's more of a life mission if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, okay, than a temporary thing. I've seen this with Facebook friends. Oh, I'm just going to go plant-based. And they go for it for about 3 weeks, and then they're done. Vegetables can be a part of your plan of eating, expanding your palate to try new things. But being plant-based ain't gonna get you there. I mean, it's gonna get you there, and then you're gonna start eating back all the other stuff, and you're gonna be mad because you're gonna be back up weight plus some. Don't y'all want to eat birthday cake that got some eggs in it? And so, I mean, I know they got vegan cakes, and if you're a vegan, I'm not coming for you, but I want to eat some food coloring sometimes. I want to eat some sugar sometimes. I want the freedom. And when you give yourself the freedom, you're not going to always be doing that. For example, my husband went and got ice cream yesterday. We have a great ice cream shop in our town. He always eats his 2 scoops of ice cream. He, is going to demolish it. I'm going to have it for a couple of days. I'm going to make little mini brownies. I do get a vegan brownie because chocolate and I don't always agree, and it's delicious. I'm going to make a little vegan brownie sundae with my little vegan ice cream because I'm lactose intolerant. And look, see how I came for the vegans, but I'm not vegan. I just can't digest dairy as well as I used to be able to. I hope that changes. But I'm going to eat the cake. I'm going to eat the cake. I'm going to eat the pizza with no cheese on it. I wish I could have cheese. I'm going to eat the things I want. And I want you to think about that too. Look at that piece of salmon. Eating fish, poultry, and meat are great, but eliminating carbs, beans, and sugar don't teach you how to not overeat. This is how I used to do it, y'all. There was so much freaking food in these containers. Meal prepping is great, but if you're finishing all your meal because it's there, not because you're hungry, but like, I'm going to finish this meal because this is 300-calorie meal. Nope. If you're finishing all the meal because it's there in that trusty container and you're not really hungry, it does not teach you how to not overeat. This is the Eiffel Tower. Ooh, look at Greece. So beautiful. New Orleans. Okay. New Orleans. During Mardi Gras. Who wants to be thinking about having to absolutely meal prep or eat a certain way when you're in Italy, France, Greece, or New Orleans? No, sis, we're going to get you some food freedom because that's what you need. You're not going to salad yourself to death. You can eat a salad. You can eat steak. You can eat, like, again, Doc's orders. I don't trump Doc's orders. But I want you, even in those type of ways where you have some things you have to omit from your diet, like with dairy, I still have food flexibility. Got the pills. I know, number 6. I know there's a popular pill out there. I'm told has to be taken for life to continue working. Got some side effects. Pills don't teach you the mental component of not overeating either. If your food cravings are being pulled back from a pill, you've got to learn the mental ways of not overeating too. Number 7, cheat days for most of us, they don't really work. And they don't teach you how to not be obsessed with food or to not overeat. Cheat days on a Thursday and a Sunday. I can teach you how to eat what you want. You're going to still choose healthy food too, and not have to think about a cheat day. I have a hard time saying cheat day. All right. Weight loss, 8. Weight loss surgery is not an easy choice, but even that doesn't teach you how to not overeat. Just by getting the procedure done. We have all heard these stories where people get weight loss surgery, then they start to overdrink or overspend. Got to look at the mental component of it all. That's why we are so mindset heavy over here at Half-Life Weight Loss. All right, here's a pour to y'all. Last but not least, last but most important, and this is a biggie, number 9. We are no longer doing mission-based weight loss. It doesn't teach you how to not overeat. I don't care if it's your 40th high school reunion or Aunt Mabel's 81st birthday or your cruise to Alaska, Bahamas, and Greece. You made it your mission to lose weight just for that event? But aren't you worthy? Aren't you worthy of losing weight? Just being you and not for an event that comes and goes? Event-based weight loss or mission-based weight loss is a crock. I have a visceral reaction when successful women over 40 tell me they are losing weight for a high school reunion, a wedding, or a vacation. Events don't teach you how to not overeat. So when the event is over, does the weight loss stop too? That's what your brain thinks. It sure does. And it happens fast. And then you're sad because you think something's wrong with you when the truth is you had that mission. You got what you may get what you want to get closer to you want, but you have a mission. Houston, we have a problem. This was a mission in 1969, and you are not Neil Armstrong, baby. You are not walking on the moon. Your 57th birthday isn't motivation to lose weight today because I want to, because I get to lose weight, because I get to do what I want to do. That ain't you. You are not that astronaut. You're absolutely not an astronaut in space. You're a worthy and incredible mission to lose weight for. Just lose the need for an event or a situation to be motivation. It's you. Remember in the first video when I talked about the donating a kidney, and I talked about my young cousin passing, and I talked about that wasn't really true. It was for me. It had to be for me, or else I would not be here talking to you all about weight loss, because I would not have my weight off. And y'all see these sexy shoulders? Exactly. And I was wearing these sexy shoulders out before I had my weight loss. Okay. You're gonna learn about your brain a lot in this solution, not program. Your brain does what you unconsciously and consciously tell it to do. If you say your weight loss is for an event, it's going to throw up a ton of cravings after the event. It believes you. It's going to sabotage your efforts, and you'll get the weight back plus more. If we stop overeating and eventually lose weight, it will need to be for you. You are your life's work, not your life's events. You are the best and only mission. I had to take this one home. Y'all, this number 9 was best because I hear this the most. You don't have a self-control problem when it comes to food. You have a, is it okay if I put me first problem? I mean, I got all these other people I love. I put them first. You have a, is it okay to put me first problem? And you eat about it when you don't put yourself first. The only way to stop overeating is to know you have to put yourself first in all the big and little ways every single day. I'm a little bit not understanding why y'all think y'all can figure out something by yourselves. Not only why you think you're going to figure it out by yourself, but why the hell do you want to figure it out by yourself when there are people who know better than you? I go to a gym because I don't want to know how to do this, that, and whatever. I get tennis instruction. Like, there are people, I know the value of investing in myself and my development by people who have already done what I've done, and they do it way better. And I don't understand why y'all think, and I'm being super duper saying all of y'all, think you need to figure out everything on your own. And I'm not just talking about weight loss right now. I'm saying anything. If you don't understand love, get into a membership, go down a YouTube university hole of videos, read books, hire a love coach. Like, decades cost too. And for so many of us on weight loss journeys, we have been doing this for decades when somebody like me knows how to do it. So riddle me this. I have kept my weight off. I've kept it off. I know how to keep it off. And I want to be arrogant for a minute with that, because most people gain their weight back in 2 to 3 years. And I'm never going to gain my weight back because I'm more not loving going back to being 265 plus pounds than where I am now. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go up 5 or 10 pounds sometimes, but like, hello, I'll take 5 or 10 pounds over 65 pounds, okay? Or 75 pounds or 95 pounds. You need someone who knows how to do what you don't know how to do. And if it requires an investment, you're willing to do that. Like, y'all, for a minute, what would be the number you'd be willing to pay if someone could solve weight loss for you? Think about it for a minute. Would it be $1,000? Would it be $10,000? Would it be $50,000? Would it be $900? Would it be $700? Like, something that has plagued you for decades. And let me just give my disclaimer because it's been a while. I haven't done a weight loss podcast. If you love your weight, don't lose it. If you feel good in your skin and is your most authentic self, do not lose it. Do I think everyone needs to go on a weight loss journey? Hell no. It's if you want to do it, if you feel compelled to do it. I don't have a problem with fatness. I center women who enjoy their fatness, who find the pleasure in their fatness. I'm here for it. In all shapes and sizes, I'm here for it. But if you want to go on a weight loss journey like I wanted to, because I didn't feel like it was my most authentic self, I also didn't think it was bad. I wanted something different, so I went and got it. And initially, I had people who helped me, and then I did what I do. I'm a coach, right? I did so much work and realized the things that they taught me that I wasn't really keen on, and then I created this thing for you called Half Life. As a matter of fact, every podcast is sponsored by Half Life, my weight loss program that helps women over 40. Let's talk about when's the last time you heard a weight loss program just say it's for women over 40. And by the way, y'all know my politic. Anybody's welcomed. I don't care who and how you describe yourself, but it was important for me. If you identify as a woman, whatever, but it was important for me since I was a woman and I was over 40 to create something different, because I do think people who identify as men generally don't have some of the same stressors that we do. And they don't think about weight loss in the same way that we do. So that's why it's women. But please, everybody is welcome. Even if you're a man and you want to buy this, have at it. Prove me wrong. My point is that I knew that I needed to design something because what I was doing, I tried so many things. I needed to veer off to create something for you that worked. And here's the thing. Let me quiz you a little bit. I have all these frameworks, all this language I've created, all of this support. So have you designed methodologies for weight? Because I have. Have you designed, vocabulary that supports you? Do you know that I used to like when I worked at Duke, I worked with social psychologists, clinical psychologists. I'm not any of those. People who studied the brain, neuroscientists. I worked in a center that had I'm not going to say it because I ain't going to tell you the actual names, that worked on substance abuse. You know how you go on Wheel of Fortune, they're like, I work for a big technology company. Well, I said Duke's name, but I'm not going to tell you where I worked, okay? But we dealt with addiction and all of that. I learned a lot about the brain. And I'm applying some of what I've learned about the brain to weight loss. Y'all don't know as much about the brain as I do. You do not. It's my little hobby to learn more about. Did you go online today and learn all the stuff about the brain? Because I did. And did it last week and this week and 3 days ago, because I'm intrigued by the brain's ability to free us, if we want to be free. If you want to get free, it's your brain that's going to help you do that. And I know how to do that better than anybody. Okay? Because I'm not a neuroscientist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a licensed social worker. I'm none of those things. But I'm a person who's had a weight loss journey. I'm a person who's overcome her trauma and continues to do so. And I'm a person who has brought all these unique things into being a coach. And I'll still say to a client sometimes, I think you should see a therapist. Think you should talk to somebody about this. Like, I am here to help get you over a hurdle, not to give you a diagnosis. I can't legally do that, but to get you over a hurdle. You need some help getting over a hurdle. You got track coach Kim. So I want to tell you a little bit about what you don't know about human nature, which is another thing I've studied. I've been studying personal development since I was about 12 years old. Okay. Most people go on 126 diets in their lifetime, and most of them last for under 6 days. Most people who lose a large amount of weight have regained it in 2 to 3 years. 45% of people globally are currently trying to lose weight. That is half the daggone population. We just hit 8 billion. So around 3.5 billion people are on diets. That's a lot of people. But here's the thing. Because our bodies are wired for survival, when we intentionally eat less, it is seen as a threat to our brain. And your cravings and your metabolic, hormonal, and neurological cravings, changes will overwhelm you if you are using just willpower. You have to be able to use your consciousness. That's why you would have me. I have overcome, I do not subscribe to willpower.com. I don't do willpower. I have overcome that for consciousness. And the way that I teach weight loss builds in overeating, because every y'all know my song, everybody overeats sometimes. Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody. I've been giving y'all a lot of songs lately. So that's why you need an advocate, a guide, someone to help you. And I'm saying, like, in terms of investments, what's a couple of $100 or $1,000 when it's something that's been bothering you since you were 11? And to learn how to do it in a healthy way that centers yourself. Sign me up, coach. Put me in, coach. You know, the reason why Half-Life has 13 videos is because I keep saying it a different way. So your brain keeps breaking off a piece and going a little further in the journey. So while we're talking about that, let's hear from our sponsor, Half-Life Weight Loss. That's how y'all get this podcast for free. Let's hear it. Hey, I'm Coach Kim, and I'm your last weight loss coach. But I've cracked the code. 65 pounds of weight loss later, and I can teach you how to keep weight off, because I'm going to teach you all about the thing you really want, which is lasting weight loss. All about my weight loss program. It's called Half-Life Weight Loss. Learn how to stop overeating, lose weight, and gain yourself back for successful women over 40. And you better know successful is an acronym that we'll talk about all in my course. But here's the deal. With Half-Life Weight Loss, you're going to get 15 plus hours of instructional videos that you can listen to any time of the day or night. They're yours to listen to as you want. You're going to get a workbook that's going to help you answer all those questions to get you to lasting weight loss. Email support. Okay, I'm going to check in on you via email every now and then. An audio version of the course. So think about it. You're going to already get a video version, right, that you're going to be able to watch, but you're going to get an audio version to take with you on a walk or in the car or when you're doing the dishes. I'm also going to include a downloadable 75 things to do other than overeat, because with Half-Life Weight Loss, I have really 3 goals for you. Learn how to not overeat, which results in lasting weight loss if you continue. Learn all the other things you'd rather do than overeating, and learn how to remember who you truly are. All right, no one does it better than me. So I want to see you here to get it done. You to press go. I want you to do this for yourself. This is the best time to lose weight. You are the best version of you to lose weight, and I'm going to help you every step of the way. It's time to upgrade your solution, and I got you. Half-Life Weight Loss is going to help you gain your whole self back. I got you. All right. Can't wait to see you on the inside. We're back. If you want to learn more about Half-Life, you can go to www.kimarrington.com weight loss, or you can just go into the notes, the show notes, and the links are there. The free weight loss class is there. That link's there. Going directly to Half-Life, that's there too. Getting on my private waiting list for coaching, that's there too. Let's keep talking about it. Let's talk about the other thing, is your belief. If you believe you'll never lose weight, this is going back to the brain. Your brain will continually search your environment for evidence. If you believe that losing weight is possible, your brain will continually search your environment for evidence. I know which one I chose. I know which one I choose every day. My brain knows it's possible to be at this weight, go lower if I want to. My brain knows that's possible. Your brain is a golden retriever. When I was growing up, there was a golden retriever. I think every time I tell a story, I give it a different name. Let's just call the golden retriever Dusty. And Dusty's owner would throw rocks, and Dusty would bring those rocks back. Even if poor Dusty's tongue was bleeding, Dusty would bring those rocks back. And I remember watching it and just being like, first of all, I hated that my neighbor did that. But I was a kid, so I was just kind of like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. But Rusty was like, I have a task. I'm going to do it no matter what. Hurt myself, I still have a task. Not want to do it, I still have a task. It's a habit. That's what I want you to think about with your brain. It can be a habit for you to believe your brain can solve problems. You need help. You need help. You need someone to help you with that. And it can also become a habit that your brain holds on to problems. You want the golden retriever to go not for the rocks, but for the ball that doesn't hurt the tongue. And that would be, my brain knows it's possible for me to solve my problems, and it will look for evidence for solving my problems if I do that. You all know now at the end of the podcast, stay to the end, I give you an affirmation. You can repeat that affirmation over and over and over. You can repeat as much as you want. I have an app called the Parrot app. Sometimes I'll just speak into the Parrot app, and I will be washing the dishes and let my affirmation go on and on and on and on. You can program your brain to believe what you want it to believe. And yes, that app, the Parrot app, is great. But the truth is, a coach knows exactly how to do that and might suggest you doing the Parrot app as well. Everybody has change kryptonite. I'm going to link my episode about what's your kryptonite, but everybody, remember Superman? It's like the kryptonite opens, he loses all his power. Y'all get freaked out about change, but coaches have conditioned their brain, their golden retriever named Dusty, their brain, to know that change is a part of life, to know that it's coming, and to at least have a little bit more leeway and grace around it. Here's how to close the box, Pandora's box, close the kryptonite box, and begin to embrace change. One of the easiest things you could do is do kind of an inventory of your life and think about when you've made changes and that you've made them you've been doing them for so long that they actually are authentically you, but there was a time before you didn't do it. Like there was a time when I did not do a daily walk. There was a time that, my house would reflect how I was feeling versus it being as clean as it is now. There was a time where I didn't journal every day, and now I journal multiple times a day. Do a little inventory right now. Think about something that you've changed, and it is so you that you can't believe that you weren't doing it at one point. I mean, journaling is so me that I could not, I can't believe. And you have some things that you've been doing forever that you'll always do. Like I will always listen to books, read. That's my version of reading. I will always do that. I will always be attracted to art, visual art, music, theater. I will always do that. So I want you to think about changes you've made that have stuck around. And I want you not to have change kryptonite. Like I can't change when it comes to weight because it is possible to be unstoppable. Okay, I keep thinking about Santa Gold song, which I love. To be unstoppable, you have to know it is possible. You know, you gotta know that. This is a big one. This is a big one. Man, this episode should probably be all about the brain. You can't tell your brain, AKA the golden retriever. Now I want to call the golden retriever Rusty instead of Dusty. I don't know. Is the golden retriever rusted or is the golden retriever got a little dust on it? I don't know. You can't tell your brain something once and expect it to get it. I got the perfect example. Some of y'all got kids. Tell me if you could just tell them something once. You know, you'll be like, I don't want to have to repeat myself. Neurologically speaking, you will have to repeat yourself to the little people whose brains are not developed. You are the same way, and your brain is developed. But when you are creating a new pathway in your brain, you can't tell your brain to do it once and expect you will always do it. That is kin to perfectionism. That is not how brains work. That is not how brains work. That is why Half-Life has those 13 videos. I told you I say it different because your brain can adapt, but it side-eyes you and it fights you for it at first. Your biggest organ when it comes to weight loss is your brain. Your biggest organ when it comes to sex is your brain. Your biggest organ when it comes to love is your brain. You cannot get there without making changes in your brain. Your brain is the mothership. And we don't want it getting blown up in the movie. We want it to be the friendly kind. You got to change your brain by continuing to wire it to be what you want it to be. Here's something that goes along with that. Something y'all don't know. This is why y'all can't really figure out weight loss. And you'll be like, no, my friend Kara did it. Okay, yes, go Kara. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule and rules. There are exceptions to the rules. Most of us, if we could figure it out, there wouldn't be half of us on diets right now. About 3.5 billion of us. If we were good at figuring it out, we wouldn't halfway be on a diet. There wouldn't be 126 diets in our lifetime. Here's the thing. And I'm not trying to be discouraging, y'all. I'm just keeping it real deal, Holyfield. Okay. There is something, I've mentioned it before, called the hierarchy of competence. And I'm not going to go all over that. If you are in Half-Life, you will see the hierarchy of confidence so much. You will be hierarchy of confidence in your sleep. So the thing about change is it's not really real when you still have to think about it. That's on the ladder. So most of us, it's like, you know, you saying, no, I'm not going to pay for another weight loss thing. That's wrong intuition. If you really believe the person who can lead you can give you a different story. Okay. Then like wrong analysis. Well, you make the wrong decisions. You decide to do a weight loss thing that cuts out all sugar and you know your ass loves sugar. You know you're going to be in the sugars. You know all that's going to do is make you crave the sugars. I mean, honestly, from a survival perspective, when you cut out sugar, your brain is going to go like haywire. I know it's all the rage, inflammation. Okay. If you follow my plan, you will naturally eat a plethora of food because you will be, you know, dealing with other things and not using food to deal with them. And you will be tapping into your body's intelligence about what it needs. Sometimes your body might want this or might want that. And your body has intelligence. And when you're not using food to not have a difficult conversation with your Aunt Greta, then you might, you know, I have a system. I have a system. That's another thing. You need somebody who has a system. Okay. So back to this. If you have to think about it to do it, you have not completely changed. It is a rung in the ladder of change, like getting it wrong, relapsing, thinking about it. But for it to actually be change, you have to not think about it. It has to be unconscious. Unconscious is when it's automatic. It's second nature. Like for instance, I don't usually eat breakfast, but I did today, and it was yum to the yum yum, scrumptious, delicious. I never eat 2 pieces of toast anymore because it's just second nature for me to get 1 piece of toast. And today I loved my toast because I split that 1 piece down the middle, and 1 piece got strawberry jam and earth balance. And the other piece was my thing to eat with my 1 egg and my sausage patty. And I left food there. That is second nature to me. I don't generally clean my plate. And not only that, I've been doing it for so long, cleaning my plate doesn't feel like second nature. The other thing is that I don't feel deprived by it. I know when to stop eating, and I created the system to help you called Half-Life. So that's where you're getting it wrong. You think you got to think more. No, you've got to go through a cycle, a process of learning a hierarchy, the English major in me, of change where you're wrong how you think, you're wrong how you feel, you're right how you think, but you have to always think about it. And sometimes you forget, you feel frustrated, but that you keep going until, yeah, it's second nature. Like it's second nature for most of us to get up and brush our teeth. It's second nature for us to wipe our ass. Like it's second nature. That's how change happens. You have to stick with it. That's the other thing. How to be unstoppable. You got to stick with what you're doing long enough. You got to not stop. Okay. Like it has unstoppable built in for a reason. You got to not stop until you get to the rung of, I don't even think about it. You actually identify it as you. That's who I am. That's who I am. And then something comes up and you're like, you take it back through the process. And before long, it's who you are. That's why I know I will never be, I don't know how much I weighed, y'all. It was at least 265 pounds. I don't know. I won't be 265 pounds anymore because I don't do the behaviors that help to maintain 265 pounds of weight. And I never will, because the reasons I eat are not about the difficult conversation I have with my husband, or I'm mad at my best friend. I have the difficult conversation with my husband or my best friend. I let it go. I have a journal. I write about it, or I do a body release, or I have a system I created to help work through emotions. Because you know why? My working through emotions it was shitballs. It was shitballs. I was just talking to my friend and I was like, remember when I didn't cry? She was like, yeah. I said, do you remember when you said, you don't cry? I've never seen you cry. And I was like, yeah, I have a 2-tier minimum. And now I cried yesterday and the day before, and I didn't die. If you ain't crying, you ain't on a weight loss journey. If you're on a weight loss journey, you're going to cry. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel disappointed. You're going to look at old grief and release it. That is how a weight loss journey works. That's why you need someone to pace you, to tell you you're not crying too much. You're not crying too little. Let's work through that. I'm going to tell you that the next two are so important. Here it is from another angle. Massive action, which I feel like Tony Robbins came up with that term. I could be wrong. That's the person I first heard say it, Tony Robbins. Massive action is you don't stop until you figure it out. Like if your kid was sick and the doctors couldn't give you an answer and you knew in your intuition, which is what that unconscious competence is it's intuitive, in your intuition that something was still wrong, you would take your kid to all the doctors, you get on the troubleshooter. Y'all know what the troubleshooter is, where where you go on the news and say, they're messing with me, they're not doing what I want to do. And then the troubleshooter goes in and gets you your money. You would do whatever it took to get an answer. But y'all will not do that shit with yourselves. You won't. You won't. You will not keep going until you figure it out. You'll stop first. That means it's not unstoppable. To be unstoppable, you have to believe in massive action. I'm going to keep going until I figure it out. That's what the beginning of this year was when I said I got my hope back, and then I didn't stop. And I was like, no. Hope was one rung. I didn't just get my hope back. I got my knowing back now. I got my trusting back, not my trying, my trusting. I will link to last week's episode so you can understand some of what I'm saying. To be massively active is I'm never going to give up on myself until I figure it out. And you've done this in areas in your life. You've done this. Like let's just say if you went to college, right? You were massively active until you got the diploma. Or if you dropped out, you were massively active until you got a job. Or, you were massively active until you found someone who you liked and you got into a relationship. Massive action applied to yourself is the easiest way to change your life. Easiest way. This is the last one. This is the last one. And I think it's a kind of an inverse way to say massive action. And I know I talked about this earlier, that you can't really I don't recommend you trying to solve it on your own, but I am biased, y'all. I'm a coach. That's what I do. You can definitely feel differently about that, but I'm biased. I know I can help you get there quicker, right? Your weight loss issue isn't too big to solve. You are not the special case that it can't be solved. Now, I only got one caveat to build in that. There are certain metabolic issues, diseases, conditions that complicate weight loss. Most of us don't have that. Okay. Now, I talk about the weight loss isn't too big to solve, but there are some conditions, there are some metabolic diseases that complicate that. I want to right now talk about lymphedema. Lymphedema is a disease where it's not just a matter of weight loss. I want to make sure you hear this because I've known people who've had it. And I also know someone recently who really educated and schooled us on it can be to dangerous proportions when you're thinking that it's about you losing weight, but it's these, and I don't want to speak on it. Look up lymphedema if you want to. If you suspect you have it, please go to your medical doctor to talk about it. And you need to know that there are a couple of medical issues where weight loss is a big thing. It's hard. Or it could maybe not even be possible. Most of us do not have those things. I do want to shout that. I want to be respectful. Most of us don't have those things. Some of us do. But for those who don't have it and don't have any of the things I spoke about, weight loss is not too big to solve. It's just consistent, which y'all think is hard. Consistent is you got to keep doing it. Hard is something else. Hard is like, it can't be done. It seems almost impossible. Consistent actions over time lead to new habits, which lead to new behavior. And, I've been telling y'all that behavior is programmed, comfort is created, and y'all gonna have to learn how to be uncomfortable. That's a huge catalyst for change. This is my year where I've learned that, and I have benefited so much from allowing myself to be uncomfortable. Let me tell you, it's been good. It's been good. It's been good. So unstoppable weight loss means that you're not going to stop. You're going to try to get some help. You're not going to think you're a special case. Most of us aren't. Some of us are. And that you're going to keep plugging away at it until you get it, until it's second nature. So join me on my weight loss class, my free class that talks about the secrets to unstoppable weight loss, at least according to Coach Kim, and that's going to be, go to www.kimarrington.com/free weight class. If you missed this one, there are going to be more. If you sign up at that link, and by the way, most of the time, not all the time, I set up my email list where you sign up and then you have to go back into your inbox and verify it. So then it'll actually be delivered to you. That's about deliverability, right? That you can actually get it. So just know that most of the times it's set up that way. You will know when I'm having a class. I got to write an email today about my classes coming up to tell you all about the class and everything. So you can understand more about my system and what I teach and what I do. And I'm going to tell y'all better please get it while it is in your price range. That's kind of all I have to say. Okay, I told you every podcast, I'm going to close it out with an affirmation, something you can repeat as many times as you want. You can go on YouTube and learn all about affirmations and how to do it. I do this a lot, especially if I'm stuck in a place. I will repeat what I want to hear. So this week's affirmation is, there is always a solution available to me. There is always a solution available to me. There is always a solution available to me. I want you all to repeat that this week. There's always a solution available to me. And then your subconscious mind goes about the business of trying to find the solution. Okay. This year is like, ease on down the road. I almost did RESPECT. Okay. Anyway, I love y'all. I mean it. I want y'all to have the lives you want. You know what my affirmation was today? I have the life I want, because I do. I have the exact life I want and so much more. My affirmation was actually, I have the exact life I want and so much more. That was my affirmation that I had parroted back to me. I will put the parrot app in the notes too. I will see y'all next week. This year is getting on out of here. It's going to be Turkey Day soon. Can't wait. Y'all have a good week. Come back next week and see me. Go grab another podcast. Go in the show notes and listen to the podcast that I list. Love you. Mean it. Have a great day.
Are you feeling what you just heard? Good. Repeat after me. You don't have to figure it out on your own again anymore. I'm here to help. Head over to KimArrington.com and download my free video series dedicated to getting you feeling your best right now. Look around. There's some good stuff waiting on you. Got questions? Well, we're always talking on the socials. So find me on YouTube, Insta, and the book. Don't be shy, y'all. Go listen to another episode or join me here the same time next week. Finally, don't keep good shit to yourself. Share this with a homie that could use some help too. Remember, we're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not lying to our doctors. And you damn sure don't lie to your life coach.